Alright, good evening, ladies. I'm doing my very best to be the first person on YouTube to share all these upcoming new trends that are popping off in crypto, and at the very moment, the new trend is Friend.tech. I was early enough on Coinbase's new chain, the base chain, and if you followed some of my calls there, you did pretty well. I was early enough on the bot coins, and now we're talking about investing in other people's Twitter accounts. So essentially what this app does, it allows you to invest and trade people's Twitter accounts essentially, and if you buy shares in these people's Twitter accounts, you get access to a private chat with that creator. Now in today's video I want to show you exactly how you can find the best Twitter accounts to invest in, and I want to show you how you can potentially get the airdrop for this platform. So essentially you get access to this private chat with this creator that you've bought shares in, so only people who've bought shares are able to access that chat. So the creator then has an incentive to provide some alpha, like some small cap coins that they're invested in. Whereas if they shared some coins, some low cap gems or low cap coins that they were invested in on their Twitter account, they could get a lot of backlash. If you can't really do that with low cap coins because you're going to impact the price if you have a big following. And you're also going to get a lot of hate from people who bought the top on it and blame you because they've followed your advice or something like that. So in general, people don't like to share small cap coins on their Twitter account. However, the people who have bought shares in your Friend.tech account, like, they probably support you a lot and they're probably more loyal and probably like you a bit more than just a random Twitter follower because they've actually purchased or paid money to buy into your shares. Now the more people buy your shares, obviously the higher the price can go, and a lot of these shares have been absolutely popping off recently. So I actually think this is a pretty cool idea. Like, there's not like I bought a few people's shares, and like there's not many times that I can just go ahead and ask a crypto millionaire questions about his portfolio or small cap coins that he's interested in right now. Like, you can't really do that directly on Twitter. And like, if you do, you're probably not going to get a response, but in this you actually do get a response. So I joined Friend.tech a couple of days ago when you had to bridge your money to Base, and then from Base send the money, because this platform is all built on Base, so the gas costs are pretty negligible. There's not really much gas involved because it's all on the Base chain, which is an optimistic rollup. So it's all traded using Ethereum, but it's on a layer 2, so it's not expensive on a gas perspective. But when I bridged over to Friend.tech, shares were pumping a lot, and then I had quite a bit of a pullback, but now they're really starting to pump. And here's some of the top accounts right now. You can see Kobe, of course, has the most Twitter followers in the entire crypto Twitter, essentially. So not only are all these shares pumping, so if you bought in the last couple of days, you're probably up on anyone who's like anyone. But and not only are there shares pumping, but there's also this airdrop tab, and we just got airdropped some points. So I wonder what those points will turn into. So if you buy or sell someone's shares on Friend.tech, actually 5% of that sale goes to the creator, the Twitter account that you bought or sold. So that is an incentive for that Twitter account to pump their shares or to provide alpha or provide value in their group chat. Now, I think just at the moment it's only a group chat, and it's only just chat function that you can only see the creators' responses. You can't even see other people's questions, which is actually quite nice because it's just less noise. And it also means you're more likely to ask a question if only the owner of the Twitter account could see it. So how do you find shares that you think will pump, and how do you potentially get this airdrop? So obviously it helps if you're actually quite active on Twitter and you know like who are good Twitter accounts to follow, who are smart, who have good alpha, because that's ideally you want a high Twitter, like the left curve idea is to have a high Twitter follower count but a low share value. Now this can happen if someone has just joined Friend.tech, so a lot of people are just continually refreshing the tab and see when a big creator has joined and trying to get their shares nice and cheap and early. So that is one strategy you can do. Or you can kind of see, okay, this person is worth X amount, and like let's say half an ETH, but this person who has a similar like level of alpha or has similar Twitter follower count and is like a similarly respected is only 0.2 ETH. So I'm going to go ahead and buy one of them. So you can kind of do it like that. But you got to watch out, like you can't just blindly say, okay, this person is only worth 0.1 ETH, but they have 100,000 followers. Because I bought Lil Moon Lambo, he's a like pretty big Twitter guy, and I just saw, oh, he's a load of followers and his shares are only like 0.07. And then I go into his Friend.tech and he said, in the Friend.tech, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to really be using this at all. So that was the reason why no one was buying his shares, or people were just selling his shares. So I know it's kind of hard to, so obviously you can't see those messages until you've actually bought the shares. However, you can kind of see this if people are like buying it and then selling it immediately. Like you can see the activity on each person's Friend.tech account. If you're seeing that someone's buying it and then selling it immediately, that's obviously not a great sign whatsoever. So I think personally the best strategy is finding people who are going to be sharing alpha in their chat. So if you don't know anyone on Twitter, if you're not really on Twitter yourself, I have a Twitter alpha list that you can use. Go for it. These are all the best people on Twitter, in my opinion, or the people who are worth following on Twitter, like all the big brains on Twitter. So if you go to my Twitter profile, click lists, and then click the alpha one, all those people are, pretty smart when it comes to crypto, and potentially they might have a Friend.tech account and they might be sharing more alpha in the Friend.tech account. But if someone's sharing good alpha in their Friend.tech account, then the people who own those shares are less likely to sell. Like I first bought Big Dick Bull 69, one of the best names on crypto Twitter. But yeah, like I said, I bought it like went up 50% or something, and then I noticed another creator that I really like, who has actually a higher following than BDB, Based Carbon. He has a higher following and provides like a similar level of alpha, and his shares were like half the price. So I didn't have any other Ethereum, so unfortunately I had to sell Big Dick Bull 69. But I wish I didn't. But you got to do what you got to do. So I could buy Based Carbon, and that, I think that's up like 50 or maybe even 2x from where I bought it. But both of them, like, they do a lot of shit posting on Twitter. They're good follows. They're funny. They're well liked, as well as sharing good alpha. Like they know what they're talking about, but they're also like they also have some personality. So that's another thing that you might want to watch out for if you're investing in Friend.tech shares. Like people who have a bit of personality as well. Like people are more likely to buy those shares and not sell them. So like I said, I bought Based Carbon share a couple of days ago, and maybe I'll share some of the alpha with you guys because I have a small following and I'm sure it's not going to make much of a difference. But he recommended, or he said he had bought some Hilo and some Saint token, and I think Saint hasn't gone anywhere, but the Hilo token is up a little bit, like almost 2x. So that gain has already made up for my investment in his shares. So Based Carbon, I'm sure you're not watching, but thanks for that. But essentially what Hilo is, it essentially lets you short low cap shitters. So low cap shit coins. Like a lot of people want to be able to short them, and that's what Hilo allows you to do. Now I haven't used the product and I'm not shilling it, but there you go. If you want to check it out and research yourself, not financial advice, and I'm invested in it. So, and the other strategy for finding good shares to buy is just to continually refresh or like scroll through that recent activity, and 99.9% are just going to be like garbage, like people buying their friends' accounts and stuff like that. But sometimes you'll see, I recognize that guy, his shares are pretty low, or he's just joined. So you can kind of find people like that and see, like, it's going to take you a while to be able to find one that's probably a good investment. Now, how do you actually go ahead and use this app? So first you go to the website and you have to add the website to your home screen on an iPhone. So they're doing that to get around Apple's 30% tax. So it's not actually an app, but yeah, that's how you essentially make it seem like an app. And then you can just, like, you used to have to bridge your Ethereum, but now you can first you link your Twitter account, and then you just have to add Ethereum on your desktop or on your laptop. So you just go to MetaMask, and yeah, you just follow the steps there. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah, you don't have to bridge across. You can just send directly from Ethereum main chain, and it will arrive in your base account on Friend.tech, and then you can trade people's shares. And obviously what you want to do is build up as much activity. Like, don't be shy. Like, there is a 5% tax on each, so if you're buying and selling a lot, like, that's probably not a good idea. But like kind of wash trading kind of stuff. But no harm being active, no harm chatting in any groups that you join, no harm buying your own shares, or no harm buying and selling other people's shares that you think are going to go up, because all of this is likely to help you in this airdrop points system that, like, there's more and more points going to be accumulating every Friday, I think it is. Now obviously they haven't told us exactly what activities contribute to these points, but I think it's probably mostly buying and trading people's shares. So go ahead, buy some of my shares if you want. Ask me questions in the group chat, be happy to answer if you want. But oh yeah, and before I forget to say that, make sure like whenever you're buying someone's account, like it links the Friend.tech account, you can go into their Friend.tech account and you can click it and link it to the Twitter and check it's the real account, because there's plenty of people going on making a fake like Frank D-Gods or a fake Kobe or a fake other massive influencer in the crypto space, and people are like, oh shit, their shares are so low, I better buy quick, and it turns out it's the fake one, like it's not a real one. So just be careful you're buying the actual correct person's shares that you want. And you do need an invite code to get the Friend.tech app, so I'll leave a few invite codes that I have, and if they all get used by the time you're watching this video, I'm sure you can find more on Twitter, but or Discord or any group chats that you're in. But it's not too hard to find Friend.tech codes, but I'll leave a few in the description anyway. But that will also potentially also help towards an airdrop, like sharing your invite codes with your friends. Now, do I think this is just a passing fad and just going to be forgotten about in a week? Potentially, who knows? But no, I do think this does have some potential. Like, it is pretty useful, and it's a little bit easier. Like, people do have group chats, they do have Discords, but I don't know, having one that incentivizes the creator is good. Like, people will actually be more inclined to like share useful things in that chat if they're actually getting like 5% of each sale from that. And people also don't want their, like, people are, you know, narcissistic. Like, a lot of people are narcissistic, so they want their own share price to be high. So it is actually a pretty good app. It's pretty clunky at the moment because it's kind of definitely still in beta. Like, it takes a while to refresh, or you have to close the app and reopen it for something to load up. But it's definitely getting better and it has some potential. So it's no harm going on trying it yourself. You don't have to spend any money on it. Just maybe buy your own shares, buy some of your friends' shares, because that doesn't cost anything. Like maybe like $5, and then you can just sell it again. But if you like Twitter and you want to find alpha for the next bull run, like potentially it's a good place to actually get some insider scoops and really be able to find the coins and the projects, the NFTs that will do well in the next cycle. I think this potentially could be a useful tool. But yeah, that's everything I know about Friend.tech for the moment. Could just be a fad for the next few days, but it does seem like it has some good potential. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.